Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Happy live chat. We're doing it. We're doing the damn thing. Yeah, I know. I went 13 minutes early. That's on me. And, I have to go to a production meeting at exactly 4 o'clock, and I cannot be late. I got to be early. So I figured I don't want to take time away from you guys. I'll just start early. I've got like 3 dozen questions already lined up. Maybe I'll just go for it. Anyway, so for those of you who tune in at 3 Eastern, like my bad, I started a little bit early, but we'll make it all work. Okay. I'm in Ponte Vedra. It's a good day to be a duck. It is monsooning out there right now. I've never seen anything like it. But we're focused on Memphis, and we're going to talk weather. We're going to talk about a ton of one and done, I imagine. We'll go through deep dives of really whatever you want to go through. This time is yours to get your questions, your concerns, your comments in the chat right now. We will rock and roll. Let us start where we always start, and that is with the weather. And it gonna be hot. Yeah, 100 degrees. It is gonna feel even worse than that. It is going to be humid. These guys' brains are going to be melting. The ball is going to fly a million miles an hour at TPC Southwind. But it's going to be pretty steady all week. I mean, even the wind, you're not even getting that traditional late afternoon wind coming in. It's basically 7 to 9 miles an hour every day, and they're going to be begging for a breeze. They're going to be begging for it. This is just absolutely, it's going to be stale. It's going to be hot. There's going to be nothing moving around. I was there last year. It was brutal. I don't even think it was this hot last year, but it was absolutely freaking brutal, and it's going to be brutal again this time around, but really no wave advantage. And with 70 players and everybody going off the first tee kind of throughout the day, not really a real wave. Probably nothing to super consider here, but man, it is going to be really, really spicy. 2 things to consider here. So actually, let me refresh this, make sure I have the most up-to-date information. Our listener league got bumped up to $35,000 guaranteed. So there are more spots to fill, but this is going to fill. I mean, we're 17 hours out. There's about 600 spots to go. Feeling pretty good about this. We'd filled the last couple of weeks like 12 hours early. So we got the bump here. That's the standard tiers competition. Six golfers, 1 from each tier. Your score counts as your score. This one in the middle, I'm very interested in seeing how it goes. This is the 5 and done. This is from the my brain. All right. Just like, let's do something interesting and let's do something different. And Splash said, let's do it. So it 1 and done rules apply, but instead of picking 1 golfer, you pick 5 golfers. Can only use them once. It's a 3-week stretch. It's this sprint of the playoffs. And each tournament is its own segment. So there are payouts for not only overall, but for tournaments. If this goes well, I could see next year maybe there being kind of some more sprint 1 and done. I like that. I would love to do a 5 and done over like a 6-week stretch or something like that. And we've done the 3 and done for majors and the players before. That has gone really well. So I'm hoping this is well received. I'm hoping this goes well. That would be really, really nice. And then finally, links in the description for that, by the way. Finally, our friends over at Pool Genius, they've got the projected picks or ownership for 1 and done. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not that helpful. They've got like 10 golfers here, all with the same number of 2 dots, which I find surprising. So this is really not all that helpful. I think Sam Burns is going to be pretty popular. I think Tommy Fleetwood is going to be pretty popular. I guess we're at the point now where a lot of guys are playing their position. They're playing what they've already played or what they haven't played yet, and they're going to go from there. But if I had to guess, Burnsy, Fleetwood, there's a lot of Rory left, I think. There's a lot of Rory left, which is kind of interesting. But I guess that means there are going to be a lot of stars that you could get at pretty, low ownership. I have not heard Thunder and Lightning in a long time. All right, let's get to it. Andrew's going to kick us off here. He says, I entered the 5 and done. I love that. Great format. Looking ahead, what's the high-level overview of the next 2 courses? Any course forces that I should consider saving for the next 2? All right, so this is kind of I sent this out a little bit in the in my newsletter for this week, 100% free, links in the description, where I think you're kind of either going like, hey, it's Rory now, or I'm sorry, it's it's Rory now for leverage, or it's just like saving for the Tour Championship. We don't even know if he's going to play next week. I've opted to mostly save Rory. I think next week distance is going to matter a lot more than accuracy relative to TPC Southwind for this week. So I think this week, you're looking at maybe, if you're trying to be a little bit different, your Aaron Rice, your JJ Spawns, your Russell Henleys. When next week, I think it's going to be more like your Chris Gotterups, your Wyndham Clarks, Cam Young is kind of interesting. You could probably play him at any three of these places, but that's what I think. And then you get to East Lake, and that's like a ton of history there. Like you could roll out Xander there, you could roll out Rory there. You almost might want to avoid Scotty there. I know it's a higher purse, but like Scotty hasn't been all that good at East Lake. Time will tell, but there's a couple of things like that I'm considering. And then obviously, you're going to play your position very quickly in this. You're going to start playing your position next week. Have Fleetwood and Xander left and one and done. Who's a better course fit the remaining courses? I guess we're going to have a lot of these questions. I would play Fleetwood here, Xander next week. I have both Fitzpatricks, Colin, Wyndham, Tom Kim, Fowler left. I'm 4th out of 88, 500K for first. Okay, you're just probably playing I would probably play Colin this week and then either Matt Fitzpatrick or Wyndham next week. I would use, okay, we're going to have just a ton of these questions. So like, I have these two guys left and what am I going to do? So I'm going to try to answer like a lot of these at once. I think that's probably the best way to do this, and do it with guys that I like more than others. And then we can rank them and we can answer a lot of these questions. Let me just say this. We don't really know what Bellerive is going to be like next week. Right? We haven't seen it on the schedule in a while. It's hosted a major championship. It could play as tough as they want it to be. Now, I think, like I said, like a major championship style player where distance matters, I think is going to be more important next week than this week. So I'll just say that first and foremost. This question about whether I should use Burns or Hovland. Victor has historically been pretty consistent across the three venues, and really he is kind of course agnostic. I mean, he's won at Muirfield Village. He's won at TPC River Highlands. Like when he has it going, it doesn't matter what course they're playing. Okay. Burns really, to me, gets a big boost a lot of places, but I think he gets a boost here because I think par is going to be a good score a lot. Scrambling comes into play. Avoiding bogeys comes into play. He's the best putter on the PGA Tour. And then he adds on this approach play prowess that he has. And then his history here is solid. A bunch of top 20s. He had a T5 here in 2024. So I'm obviously quite high on Sam Burns. I've bet Sam Burns to win this. I've bet Hideki Matsuyama to win this. Those are the two big outrights that I bombed on this. So I'm probably just playing Burns this week and Victor next week if I were you. This is one that's interesting because it has multipliers, right? So all three playoff events are included, and the Tour Championship is a 60% finish, so $6 million for first. Basically, no one left in the top 11. Oof. Okay, yeah. So I don't know what you consider the top 11. Is that FedEx Cup? So I guess that would mean you probably have Xander left, right? I think he's 15th. You might have Victor left, right? I really kind of need to know who you have left, but $6 million, that's a pretty big payout for next week in what is going to be a 30-player field. So I think if you have Xander left, you probably need to play Xander at East Lake because of his record there and his ability to win and all that fun stuff. You probably need to play him there. I don't know who else you have left, but I would play, if you could play Victor next week, if you could play Justin Thomas this week, I think that would be a really great way to run out your thing. Chiming in on the player profiles. We are so close. We can now see the collar of the shirt and the bottom layers of their names. Is that true? So, on the Monday preview. Yeah. Yeah, I was messing with my overlays. I'll continue to mess with them. This is different though, because I'm on my laptop and I'm using StreamYard. So this is actually a different layout, but you should be able to see most things here. Thoughts on Spawn this week? Pretty positive. You have to remember he was in a playoff here last year. You have to remember that, when fairways matter, he matters. I don't love that we're still trying to figure out a little bit of the short game. The putter goes very hot and very cold. But again, I liked what I saw here last year. The fact that he got to the playoff last year, losing strokes putting is very encouraging. And as long as he drives it well, I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's pretty sneaky. Can you look into Akshay this week? Sure. There was something, and I just caught the back end of this, but I think it was Josh Culp on Twitter who was, I know it was Josh Culp, but it was on Twitter. And I think the point he was trying to make was that there is a lot of right to left shot shape correlation to some of the guys that play well here at TPC Southwind. And that is good news for Akshay, who kind of needs to find something here. Hasn't driven it very well recently, plays a right to left shot. When I'm just looking at this, I think it's a bridge too far. The driver's a problem. If he can't hit fairways, he's in big trouble. He has played well here, but this is a guy who, is starting to form the red X of death. I don't particularly love this profile here. I'm about 2 million back in 2 million back from the money. My league gives all players back for the playoffs. Well, that is silly. That's really silly. I'll be honest with you. I like that that's a wrinkle. I like wrinkles, but just getting everybody back for the playoffs is pretty silly. So I can use any name. Golly. You have to make up ground, though. I mean, see, this stinks, actually. Rory McIlroy. It's gonna stink. He's got the second shortest odds. I know he hasn't played well. I'm not really sure what else you're supposed to do. I don't think Rory's gonna be very popular at all. Not in your format. So isn't everyone just going to play Scotty? Or everyone's just going to play Scotty, Cam Young, Rory in the next 3 weeks. So I guess you're playing one of the Cam Young, I guess would be fine. If you're going to save, and maybe you save Rory for Eastlake and Scotty next week, maybe you do that. Cam Young, that might actually be better. Assuming you go all 3 weeks. That's a very, very strange rule you have. Top 15 in your main one and done. That's crazy because that's a great run. Is it crazy to not play Burns? Nobody above me has him left. I'm considering Koiven. With respect, you don't need my opinion on this. You're in the top 15 and you're doing just fine, right? But if you are 15th and you have a clear path to the top with Sam Burns, who's got top 5 odds in this field, you probably have to play Sam Burns. I don't know what you have left for next week, but man, that is a really, really clear path to making up ground with one of the best players in the field. That's incredible. In the money for the segment and overall in your one and done, I've got Hovland. Okay, so Hovland and Burns seems like a very common scenario that we have left. For me, it's Burns, Hovland. So I'll probably skip those moving forward, but it is probably Burns, Hovland for me. Could you go wrong? Probably not. But that's the way that I would go. Full. I just don't have the OWGR in front of me. I would have to go pull up the OWGR. I'm not going to do that. Can you build a model with 4 obscure stats that you find useful for this week at TPC Southwind? Dealer's choice, the wackier, the better. God, how wacky do we want to get? I just saw, I'm using my phone already. I just saw the course sheet just got sent out, like the stimp and all that stuff. So what I'll do is putting on fast greens for 25. I will do approaches from 175 to 200. I will do good drive percentage, trying to stay within the realm of not crazy town, but also trying to be a little wacky. And then I will do, we could do right to left. Shot shape right to left. Ricky Fowler, Russell Henley, Ludwig Oberg, Akshay Bhatia, Xander Schauffele, Jake Knapp, Sepp Straka, Nico Echeverria, Matt Fitzpatrick, Cam Young. Do I use Rory this week or next week for one and done? There is a chance he does not play next week. So if you are comfortable not using him at all, then save him. I think next week is better than this week for him. I do not know if he's going to play. My hunch says he's going to play. He will, but that is literally a hunch. And I would not put $3 of my own money on that. But I do think he took a lot of time off, 3 straight weeks, run through the playoffs. I could see that. Bellerive's a great spot. I'm looking for a golfer in the $7,000 to $7,600 range as a solid filler option. Okay, 76 to 7,000. I am probably going with. God, I'd love to be early on now. It might be a little bit riskier, but I think it's Alex Smalley for me. So Alex Smalley is looking like the player that he was here, which is when he rattled off a bunch of like top tens and almost won the PGA Championship, and then he almost won the Charles Schwab. This guy, if we're getting this guy, he is severely underpriced. And we saw a complete gain at the Wyndham Championship where, he gains throughout the bag, picks up 6 strokes on approach. That is very, very encouraging. Okay. That's where I would go. In for the fun. Okay. Next 2 weeks. Okay. So am I screwed? No, you're not, but you're kind of screwed. So you have Hovland, Gerard, McNeely, Tom Kim, and Rose. You're not screwed. You're not, but you probably have to go Tom Kim, Victor Hovland is probably what you have to do. Gerard's been, I just can't imagine playing Gerard over those other two. Rosie's really struggled, even though he's the defending champion. McNeely, I guess, would be okay, but I think Tom Kim is legit live in this event, and this is a better spot for him than next week. And then Victor Hovland is very clearly the best player out of that group that you have. I think you have to go Tom Kim and Victor Hovland. You're not screwed, but you need a very specific outcome. Yeah, we were actually just talking about this. Maybe right to left. I have not looked at that myself, but I did read some rumblings that right to left would be a little bit better. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. So Hideki is probably one of the only few guys ahead of Burns for me. Like if I had those two available and I was trying to decide if I was going to play which one I was going to play this week or next, then I'd probably play Hideki this week and Burns next week. Because of Hideki's record here, the win and the runner-up finish and a lot of other really good stuff, I would probably go in that direction. But almost every other scenario, I'm probably going to say Burns this week. I guess unless it's like Justin Thomas and Sam Burns, then I'd probably go JT and Burns. Like somebody who has really good history here, or like Tom Kim. I guess there are other scenarios. DK has odds out for the Tour Championship. Yeah, I saw this. So I did see this. There are a lot of really interesting. DraftKings has actually done a pretty good job on this. So Cantlay needs to get into the top 30. I did see that his odds to advance are pretty good relative to other guys from like a similar spot in the FedEx Cup standings. So it's kind of a 2-part question. He has to get to the Tour Championship, and then he has to finish inside the top 10. I think that is worth. I believe he will get to the Tour Championship. So then if you're looking at it and saying, well, it's 6-1 to finish inside the top 10 in a 30-player field, like that's obviously pretty good. Joining the 5 and I love the concept. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to speculate a lot on Bellerive, being, you've got it like 8 years removed. My sense is that it's going to play a little bit like a major championship course, and distance is going to matter a lot more. And the rough is going to be pretty thick and pretty penal. So I'm going more your Rorys, your Cam Youngs, your kind of bomb and gougers, quite honestly. I don't want to answer the same question 50 times. So if they're different, I'll answer them. I am playing Tom Kim over Justin Rose this week. Yeah. So, and again, I'll try to add in like some deeper dives into these players so that it's not just me rattling off names here and there and actually talking about why. He's been one of the best approach players in the world since Myrtle Beach. The win is in there. I mean, he probably should have won last week. Could have very easily won last week. A couple of bad swings got away from him, cost him. I think he made 2 doubles. Definitely one on Sunday and one another day that was just like stupid. I think it was on 7. A couple of par 3s that he made doubles on. What do you make the? No, I think he made double on 11, which was not a par three. So, yeah, he's super live to win this. And Rose, just to show you Justin Rose's profile, I don't know if I've pulled up Rose's profile just yet. I know he's the defending champion, but this is a little discouraging. It's just like, okay, couple of okay finishes. He is a high risk, high reward, upside type of player, and he's gotten up for a lot of big events. This just feels kind of trappy here. 2 and done. So here are the 4 you have left: Hovland, Ludwig, Xander, Goddard. Okay, so then you probably play. You definitely play Goddard next week. You probably play Xander next week. You probably play Hovland and Ludwig. I need to jump one guy who's already Tommy left in 1 and done. I need to jump one guy who's already used him. Do I use him here or wait for next week? I think you use him this week. I need a win in my 1 and done. Hideki, Burns, Thomas, Rose, Spawn, Tom Kim, Hideki for me. Is it better to look at bogey avoidance or double bogey avoidance? I think bogey avoidance is just fine. Right. I think that's certainly good enough. Let's, do I have it here? Or do I have it somewhere else? Bogey avoidance. Okay. Everybody in this field qualified only. Rory McIlroy, Jake Knapp, Robert McIntyre, Kurt Kitayama, Hideki Matsuyama. Deep dive on Ryan Gerard. Let's look. I've been very bullish on Ryan Gerard the last couple of weeks because it looks like he was starting to put it together. The Wyndham wasn't the worst thing in the world. He picked up 3 strokes ball striking, really struggled around the greens, really struggled with the putter. Does he have history here? I kind of doubt it. Okay, last year, T44, struggled with the longest and shortest club in his bag. I don't know. My sense is that he's like a 6.5 out of 10. I still like the 1, 2, 3.5 good results that we got before the miscut, and the miscut wasn't all that bad. I still think this is pretty decent, but I worry about a short game. I worry that we're just going to get some hole somewhere, but he seems close enough that I think this would be okay. Ricky Fowler is a bargain at 7,500, right? I think that's right. He's probably playing the best golf of his season right now. I think that's pretty safe to say. I think he has 3 straight top 15s, or maybe 3 straight top 18s where he's driving it well and he's putting it well. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Ricky goes as the putter goes, and the putter is going right now. And Ricky also goes secondarily as the driver goes, and that's going right now. And it's just giving him a lot of looks. Let's look at his history here. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I apologize. Whoops. I clicked Torrey Pines South. Let's try that again. Southwind. Okay. Last year, 6th. A couple other good results in 2020 and 2014, but not so good ones in between this. So very hit or miss on the history. I think this is very solid. And $7,500 in like a DFS situation, or even like a tiers. I don't know what tier he's in. That would probably be a pretty good spot to run him out. Christopher Rayton. What has Chris Rayton been up to? Let's look. Oh man, he's driving it like an animal. This is concerning. The short game is concerning. The losing multiple strokes around the green in 3 of his last 5. The putter hasn't always cooperated. I do think you're going to have to just make like a lot of 8-footers and a lot of 10-footers, and you're going to have to save par a lot. And I could see him putting for par from 8 to 10 feet countless times, and being on the wrong side of it is quite honestly what I could see. Sorry for that unsubscribe last week. What? Why'd you do that? My betting card, which you should not care about. You should not care about this. But I can't. I'm using my phone as my camera, or else I'd grab it right now. The big outrights are Burns, Hideki. I have backed that up with a little bit of like top 5, top 10, top 20 on those guys. I also have decent position on Connor's top 20. That will go horribly. And then I have a because I'm in Florida and I have access to Hard Rock, I could do some funky stuff. I put in a top 20 parlay of the 4 major championship winners this year. So that's Rory, Wyndham, Rye, Fox. I think Fox and Rye are very, I don't even want to say undervalued, like overlooked this week. Ryan Fox is like 160 to 1 to win this golf tournament. Why? He just won the Open. Like he could absolutely win this thing. So I think Rye and Foxy are both a little bit underappreciated. And I threw in the other two just for fun. I will probably, I've got time here. I will probably snap off on Ryan Fox at like 160 to 1 or whatever he is. I will probably add that to my card as well. So you should not care, but that's where I'm going to roll. And then I'm going to do a lot of, weird stuff for round by rounds and all that fun stuff. It's nice being here with Hard Rock, quite honestly. This is interesting. You have a lot of good options. So you're just inside the money. So you need to stay there, obviously, but you could still move up quite a bit. You have JT, Wyndham, Hovland, Tom, Kim. Gosh, I almost want to play 3 of these guys this week, which would be Hovland, JT, Tom, Kim. I would probably end up not playing Wyndham, quite honestly. I would probably play either JT or Tom Kim this week, and I'd probably play Hovland next week. I think that's really fair. Justin Thomas, I don't know if I pulled up his profile or not yet. Justin Thomas, to me, is listen, there's 70 guys. They all got here because they played well. They're the best players on tour. Like he's live to win this, which I think is crazy. But he is Hideki level short game. The driver's been good. He's been better on positional golf courses. His record here. Let me remind you of his record here, which is the win in 2020. T13, T28, T30, T26, T12. He's never finished outside the top 30. I realize it could be a smaller field. I like JT a lot. How many players do you normally put in your player pool for a 70 field no cut event? Like this week would be like 18 to 20, probably. You're probably going. Oh boy, you have a lot of good guys too. So Goddard, Wyndham would be next week. Hovland, maybe. Fox, you probably don't need to play. Rye, maybe. Cantlay or Geez, you have a lot of options. JT Hovland, I think, is the play. You could also convince me of. I think that's probably the play. You could also probably convince me like Hovland, Goddard, but I think JT is the one. Playing the 5 and done. Yeah, the 5 and done's sick. I hope we fill it because that would be, I think we will. 400 spots to go, 17 hours. Because then I can convince them to give us like little things as well. Okay, you go through Eastlake. So if I'm you, I'm probably going Tom Kim now. Ludwig. Oh, I guess I'll just play Tom Kim now. And then you don't need to decide. Like, that's the other thing. It's like, if you have more than 1 week left, you don't need to decide your 3 weeks right now. I'm confused by long approach shots ranking highly in the course key stats despite occurring less frequently. It's because of it's the type of player, right? So it looks at all players and all their skill sets for the year. So basically, guys that hit their long irons well correlate highly to success is the way that reads. Rick, I'm with with the current leader of your one done sitting at 22.9 million. There's only one question: how far back is too far back? That's very good. This week is what, 4 million for first. Next week is for you. If you want a chance to win it, you probably need to be. I think anybody within 5 million is live. I mean, I don't know who they have left the winner, but like, yeah, if you're within 5, you're pretty live, I think. Here's the Cam Young deep dive. Sure. Cameron Young, not young Tom Morris. Cameron Young. The way he putted at the Wyndham Championship, I believe, was the worst putting performance of his career. Lost 7.5 strokes. Everything else was pretty fantastic. He's a very good putter, and I know that does not look like that. I think he turns that around very quickly. There's really nothing else to complain about. Even when he has struggled this year, it has mostly, almost exclusively been with the putter. And then he inevitably turns it around and then rattles off at a couple of good finishes. Like I think he figures this out pretty quickly. My favorite Seinfeld episode, oh my gosh. I just watched the Dream, is it called the Dream Cafe the other day? And I thought that was like, I was like, I haven't remembered that one, where Elaine takes the IQ test for George, and Jerry, Jerry's a very, very bad man, and he goes to try to help Babu Bot. A lot of the Steinbrenner Yankees Costanza episodes I love. The Calzone is fantastic. But that whole like subplot of George working for the Yankees is incredible. You should probably play. Oh God, you have too many good guys left. Fleetwood here, Burns next week. That's kind of interesting too. You're just not going to play Xander. I wish yours went to the Tour Championship, because then you could play Rory there. I've not again, my hunch, I'm guessing, is that Rory does play next week. But I wouldn't put $5 on it. I would put 3 on it maybe, but I would not put 5 on it. I have Siwoo and Goddard up left. You have to play Siwoo here. Just the accuracy off the tee. I mean, I talked about this a lot this week. The half a stroke penalty for missing the fairway is a big deal. Siwoo's the second or first most accurate driver on the PGA Tour, along with Aaron Rai and Joel Damon and those guys. Cheapest 3 guys that can win. Cheapest 3 guys that can win. All right. Aaron Rai, $6,800. Could win, yes. Alex Fitzpatrick could win, yes. Ryan Fox could win, yes. So I'm there. Can I find somebody who can win lower than that? Sung Jae, probably not. That probably guarantees that he wins. Sahith, Brian Harmon, Nico. I'm pretty comfortable stopping here. Fox, Fitzpatrick, Rai. How high are you on Colin Morikawa? Kind of always the same with him. 7.5 out of 10. When he's going well, it doesn't matter what golf course. Though this is a pretty good one for him, right? At least on paper. The record here is solid. A bunch of top 25 finishes, highlighted by the 5th in 2022. The putter's been great. Yeah, he's probably being overlooked. He should probably be pretty popular. Top 50 and a 1,500 person one and done. I'm leaning Burns, but have Xander, Siwoo, or beautiful boy Victor as pivots. God, you're in a tough spot too. Play Burns. I think that's right. And then you could probably play Xander or Victor next week, depending on what you see. Now that Patrick Rogers withdrew, he didn't withdraw, did he? Patrick Rogers did. I knew we were at 69 because of Berger. Did Rogers withdraw? No, Rogers still has a tee time. So it was the Berger withdrawal. Sorry, I just want to make sure I knew what was going on here. The Berger withdrawal that got Koiven. Koiven's not playing by himself. Is there an advantage with that? I don't know. I'd be lying to you if I said that I knew that. The thing is, a lot of guys treat this differently. He's young. I don't know if he's used to it, comfortable with it. A lot of guys don't like it. I don't know. I'm probably out on Castillo. Gerard, I think, is okay. The lowest I'd go for like DFS purposes, the lowest I'd go is probably Jordan Smith. It's probably the lowest I'd go. Was there any statistical indication that Bo Hostler was going to play well last week? Let us look. Let us look together. Not really. He had one of the better historic putting weeks that you can have. He gained 10, but a lot of what he was doing was basically the same. Drive it well for a stroke or two. Approach is somewhere between -1 and +1 around the green, hovers around 0, and then he went out and literally had, I'm gonna guess this is literally, has to be, the best putting performance of his career. He's a pretty good putter though. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it was. So no, he had a career week. Scotty is great, but never wins. He won like 1 million times last year. Who is the next best to Scotty for a top 5 filler? Filler? Flyer? Filler? I don't think you should be all that uncomfortable with Scotty. But Tommy, well-rounded. Tommy, we'll pull up Tommy's record here as well. But look at this. This is it looks kind of like Scotty's profile just in terms of color. Like, it's a video game stuff. And then he's got the pair of third place finishes in his last 2 trips or last 3 trips. Probably Tommy. My best options are JJ, Rye, McNeely, Thor, and Scott. Yikes. You should probably it's probably JJ Spawn ahead of Aaron Rye by a little bit. Then I think there might be a big gap for the rest of those guys. I missed the Betcast on Tuesday. Guess I have to watch it tonight. Yeah, that's true. So you can go to ESPN Plus, I believe, and you can watch this on demand. It was about 38 minutes long. Talked about a lot of different things out of the studio. Is it still on demand? Let's see. It's got to be, right? Golf. Live and upcoming. Yeah, right here. Look. Right here. Betcast preview show Tuesday. Well, that's over, but you can go back and watch it. Oh, if I click it, I bet you I'd get dinged on that. Even though I was on it, they'd probably ding me on that. And then here we go. So for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, first round, Betcast, that's us. Friday, Betcast. So we start at 9 a.m. Saturday, Sunday. Oh my God, we're starting early on Saturday. We start at 9 a.m. I'm on for the first 3 hours. Then I take my lunch break or my break, and then I come back for another 2.5. So we'll be there. It'll be fun. All right. Mina's probably like, don't click that button. Andy, is this the Andy Fox I know? I think I ask this every time I know. I rarely look. So I also get a lot of emails. So like Rick, why do you answer my? I rarely look at the usernames or the names here. Is this the Andy Fox I know? Wait. Andy would know. If that's him, that'll hold on. Is there any game theory in 5-1 loading up this week and trying to win the week? Okay, interesting. I did build some like this. I did build burn all my stars now. And then I did do some where I didn't burn anybody. And kind of just like playing it a little bit. I have tinkered with that. Yeah, I think you should. Because I think it's probably different than what other people will do. And there is a big incentive to winning a segment. Winning a week is like one good week. And you win. So I've done a little bit of both. Thanks for all the great content and effort. Thank you. If Koivu wins, yeah, producer Mina is taking me out for ribs. The club we play at has, or I'm sorry, not the club we play at. The restaurant, I didn't propose to her there, but I proposed, and then we went to this place. That restaurant has fantastic ribs, so she owes me that. Also, forward-looking, Tommy Morrison has been on fire. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about this right now, but yes, Tommy Morrison has been fantastic. He's been his Corn Ferry Tour stuff is sick. He's got the win, the runner-up, the fifth. He's awesome. He's a very good player. Third in one and done out of 40, and you have a lot left. Yes. Well, So he said, I was thinking about saving Scotty for the Tour Championship. My only problem is like Scotty is not, there's so few places that Scotty isn't good at. And one of them is East Lake. Is it just a matter of time? Is it like Rory, like just a matter of time that he pops off and wins there? I think that could be reasonable. Wait, I guess he did, but that was a staggered start, wasn't it? Am I misremembering this? He still played well. Am I misremembering Scotty? Was that a staggered start? When did they stop this? My brain hurts. Maybe I was giving him. Maybe I was being too critical on him. Maybe I was thinking of something. What was I thinking of? Yeah, play Scotty at the Tour Championship. Hell yeah. Any love for Ricky? Yeah, pretty much. 7.5 out of 10. Michael Thorbjornsson is a little bit, let's look at this together. He's a little bit, God, that profile looks so damn good, doesn't it? 2 straight starts and where he's gained more than 10 strokes from tee to green and 3 out of his last 5. I need to check. I wish he was a touch more accurate. Oh, God. Okay. I'm sorry. God, I am completely out of whack here. I still had it sorted by putting, best putting performances. Jeez Louise. I was like, that is crazy to me. Still a very good at the Rocket. Sorry, I'm completely out of whack here. I wish he was a little bit more accurate off the tee is what I was saying. You know, Detroit, for a guy like him, Detroit's just a perfect spot. This is going to be very, very different than that. So I've got enough concerns about Thorbjornsson. Love the pod. Thank you. 3 guys, 8,500 or above that you're avoiding. Oh, these always make me look silly. Okay. Wyndham Clark. Chris Gotterup. I mean, probably Rory McIlroy. Who sneaks into the top 10 out of this group? Griffin, Thomas, Nat, Brennan. Thomas. Way too early NFL one and done pick. Is it LA over Arizona for the best EV play, or have you even taken a look yet? I did not know the schedule was out, so I did not take a look. When did the schedule come out? I don't know. No. I will do my one and only NFL Survivor video, probably in 3 weeks. So when is week 1? Like September. It's usually around my birthday. It's like the first week of September. So after the Tour Championship, I will look. And I'll spend 2 days on it, and then I will not look at it again. Matt Fitzpatrick is pretty sneaky this week. I mean, Xander looks like he's on the verge of winning constantly. So it's hard to say, like, this is the week because he's constantly looking good. Sorry. But I just find it hard to believe that Matt Fitzpatrick has not had better success here. The ball striking has been miserable. He's such a solid ball striker. And his short game is top. I think Fitzy's like very sneaky good this week. Happy to say I ignored your advice on Smalley last week. Yeah, you should definitely spend your money however you feel fit. It's tough to say. In the top 5 in the big one and done. Would you play Burns this week or JT Hovland this week and Burns next week? God. I think I said JT was one of the guys that I would probably go JT Burns. Really, really close, obviously. A lot of these are the same. A lot of people are having the same types of questions. What has Jacob Bridgman been up to? I looked at this, I want to say last week, and I think he was turning it around. Okay. Yeah, this isn't bad. The putter's back, which is nice to see, which is exactly what he was doing at the beginning of the year. He was the best putter on the PGA Tour for a while. The approach play has been better. The driver's been better. Finished T26 at the Rocket. I think this is a much better spot for him than the Rocket. Finished T28 at the Open. I think this is a much better spot for him than the Open. Finished 17th here last year. Maybe Bridgman's pretty sneaky too. What was Aaron Rod's strokes gained putting last week? Yeah, he did also get off to a really he gained 2 strokes putting. He got off to a really, really bad start, if I remember correctly. Thursday, like the first, he was like 4 or 5 over early, and he grinds back and then figure it out. What do you think of Jordan Spieth? Spieth or Smith? Spieth. Do not like it. Do not like it, Sam. I am. Let's give him a proper. Let's give him a proper. This is brutal. So 5 straight starts here. He's lost strokes on approach. 3 out of 4 he's lost strokes with the putter. I swear to you, he hit a provisional like 5 holes in a row. I'm exaggerating, but every time I looked up, he was hitting provisional, and he must have found all of them because he rattled off like 3 birdies on like holes that he hit 3 provisionals. I couldn't believe it. I just like, he breaks my brain. You probably saw the stat by now. He does not have a top 10 this year. He's the only guy in the field who doesn't have a top 10 this year. I think this is probably one of the worst spots for him, and he's kind of proven that. No. Ooh, I'm stuck on which Kim to take, Siwoo or Tom. How about Michael? No, I would say it is probably, I think it's Tom. Did Max Homa really play well and deserve to be here? Interesting. I mean, he played well enough, I guess, to get into the top 70. So who am I to say he didn't deserve it? No, it's pretty bad. And I mean, he gets a ton of points for the T9 at the Masters and the runner-up at the John Deere, but this is, I'll tell you, it's not a good year for him. 1 and done with 2 pick weeks. What? Okay. What? Oh, okay. So now Mina's sending me a message. What is she saying? Some weeks. I know, Mina. I can read sometimes. I can't read sometimes. Okay, so I think that you should be playing. Yeah, I think you have this right. Kim and Morikawa, yeah. And then Clark and Ludwig. Yeah. And then you sit Rose. Yes. You got it. You got it. Sorry. That was a long way to get to exactly what you were already saying. I'm first in my 1 and done. You don't need me. But yes, I'm going with Decky over Ryan Henley. And then I'd wait to see. But next week, I'd probably end up playing Wyndham. But we'll see. Manhands is a good one as well. Harris English. Haven't pulled up his. Is Harris English the guy that I'm thinking of that is like an elite bogey avoider? Is that what I'm thinking of? I'll look. But oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're in trouble here. So he was for a long time like a top 20 putter on tour this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight weeks losing with the putter. He's lost 10 strokes on approach in his last 6 rounds. I do not like that one single bit. Henley would be a fine 1 and done option, but he'd have to be like your last, like he'd have to be the last guy you have left. Henley's been great. He's won this year. He's accurate off the tee, but there are a lot of guys I'm playing before Henley. So if you are truly out, then play him, but otherwise, no. Agreed that Jake Knapp has been really frustrating to figure out. My sense is that, I mean, they said he was healthy, but I don't know if he's 100% healthy or not. it is getting a little bit better. The two things that have really been frustrating is the short game's been really frustrating, and that's the stuff that the rust is really creeping up on him. But that's going to be pretty important here. So I think we just might catch up with Jake Knapp down the road. Doing the 5 and done. How? Go to Splash Sports. What are we at? There's 300 and some odd spots left. You can still get in. Maybe I'm remembering this. My top Canadian is Connors. Yeah, Connors has been good enough. And this is a course that's a fit for him. I think I already said, I bet him to finish inside the top 20. Putter's been better historically, accurate and solid ball striker. So I've invested in Connors this week. Thoughts on in-person betting on prediction market and trying to beat the market? Better be fast, and you better be ahead. Like on what? Specific holes or something? There's probably not enough that you can see in person that would be super tangible, unless you're betting like, is he going to par this hole or something like that? You better be fast and know what you're doing, because you could probably blow that a lot. I only have a little bit of okay, I have a couple thoughts on it. So is it better off playing guys around the cutoff or comfortably in next week already? Well, the guys that are comfortably in are probably having better years. They're probably better players. So that's part one. But I do think there are a few scenarios where the golfers' incentives align with your incentives, which is rare. So think about this. If you bet on a normal week, Scotty Scheffler to finish inside the top 5, like Scotty does not care. And he does not know. And he's not trying to do that. He's trying to win or whatever, right? Like he's not like grinding out a top 5 for you, or like he's not in fifth and trying to save par so that you can win your bet. Like that's not happening, right? Your goals don't align. In a lot of other sports betting, they do align, right? If you're betting a football team to win, they're trying to win the game, right? Like they're aligned. There are a couple of scenarios this week where they do align, like Jackson Coyven top 10. I'm not saying this is a great bet or whatever, but Jackson Coyven top 10, like he needs a T7 or better, maybe a T6 or better to advance. So he is now aligned with your goals as well. That I would consider. And there's a lot of those for different players. So like stuff like that I would consider, but otherwise it's very few occasions. Apparently right to left is a little bit better off the tee. Alex Fitzpatrick over Sung Jae. First birdie in the Scheffler McIlroy group. I'll bet it with you, but I have no idea. Scotty, but I have no idea. It's a crapshoot. Thoughts on Morikawa? Very, very good. All right. Oh wow, we did almost do an hour. Let me just see. Really quick on Michael Brennan. I put this in my newsletter for this week. He is he's a very elite driver of the golf ball. And I think that we're going to learn he is better on courses that have a wide range of outcomes off the tee instead of just bomb and gouge. I wrote about this in my newsletter where it's like, he's not like a Bryson or a Rory elite where it's like, hey, I'm just going to bomb it and go find it, and I'm going to do it a lot with distance. He, I think, is kind of like John Rahm in a sense, where like he can hit a lot more fairways. He can shape it. He's getting there. And when you go to Black Desert, he can gain 7 strokes off the tee because there are so many guys who are losing like 5 because it's like a very demanding and wide range of outcomes. I don't know if Brennan's going to be great at like the Rocket or places where it's just wide open or whatever. But I think tough driving courses, I think are going to be better for him. I would count this as one of them. That's just my rant on Michael Brennan. Okay. Let me get you updated numbers here. So there are, oh boy. Okay. So only a few hundred spots in the 5 and done, and there's 500 left in the tiers, but that's actually seemingly closing a little bit faster as well. Links in the description for all of that stuff. I have to go to the restroom. And then I have to go to this production meeting. We're going to do the betcast this week. And yeah, it's going to be great. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you soon.